the thing.
Welcome in, everybody. This is the MEC Cross Country Championships on MEC TV. I'm Alex Witherspoon, joined alongside by Coach and Hall of Famer Mark Swigert. On the course today will be Jesse Skiles, longtime coach and athletic director, following all the action in the women's 6K and the men's 8K. And it is a crisp morning. We're kicking things off right here. It's probably around 37 degrees, and we want to welcome you in. I'm Alex Witherspoon with you, and it is a great morning for some cross-country running. Every one of these runners born to run today.
Yeah, nice nice connection to my Springsteen stuff. I love that. No, we were all born to run, and this great. Anytime we get to do this with cross-country, and this time of year when it's crisp and cool, runners are going to love it. The course is in great shape. Looking really forward to this, being back on the course after many, many years of being off. I'm replacing Ricky Moore this year. Ricky was one of my runners at Wheeling many, many years ago now. It's going to be hard shoes to follow, big shoes to follow.
So we are at Ogle Bay Resort. This is the Crispin course, and why don't you? I know you're intimately familiar with this course, so I think that'd be a good way to introduce folks into today's action. Let's talk a little bit about what they can expect to see and what the runners can really expect to see out on the course today.
Yeah, the course is one of the most challenging in the region, featuring constant elevation changes with very little relief. Success here depends on smart racing. Time surges where you do that, especially after cresting hills and running down hills fast, making tight turns, and strong pack tactics. So there'll be some packed up runners and teams on the course today, and so those pack working with each other is really important on a tough course like this. And it loops through. There'll be a lot of spectator access to the race on top of the hill up there. This course was designed by Chris Krager, late Chris Krager, another one of my former athletes, who I remember when he was put the wheel on this course many years ago. I told him, I said, this is going to be a tough course. And he said, well, Reed wants the course here, so we're going to do this. And so we've got this demanding course. It's fair. It's uphill, downhill, lots of turns. So looking very forward to seeing this race.
What are some of the biggest challenges for the racers this morning? As I understand it, the temperature will not be one of them, as we're going to kick things off here in the high 30s, right around 38 degrees. But what are some of the other challenges that runners will face today?
Yeah, I think it's just the tactical part of the race. You're right about the temperature. 100 pounds ago, I was a competitive distance runner 45 years ago. So I just know that hydration, those kind of things are not going to be as much a factor because of the temperature. So it's going to be a great day for the runners, just to be, the body works like a combustible engine. They've got fuel and they're hydrated. It's almost like your body's like a radiator. So this is a great day for running out on the course. I just believe that the race is going to come down to a lot of tactics, pack running, some of the top teams running together, and then maybe there's an individual pull away somewhere along the line using those tactics as well. But I think uphill and downhill running, you've got to master that on this course.
We have got some phenomenal racers today, and I think it makes sense we start with there are two teams that earned first place votes during the preseason polling, Charleston and Davis and Elkins. D&E, the defending champions from last year, won both the men's and women's side, and Charleston, who was picked to finish first this year. Every single year, Charleston is one of the very, very, very best to come out here. What can we expect from these racers today, and is there added pressure being the favorite as a team in a race like this?
Well, there's always pressure in this meet, and they've worked all year to get here, and we've got some masterful coaches leading their teams, and those runners are beneficiaries of that great coaching. And so I think it's going to be a really interesting race. I think, and so we're talking about D&E and Charleston and even Concord, and in the women's side, Point Park. So there are going to be a lot of opportunity for someone to come through and maybe upset or whatever. But I think these programs are ready to go.
Charleston's head coach, Nick Bias, has led the university's cross-country and track and field programs now since 2014 and has guided them to dominance in the Mountain East Conference. Under his leadership, Charleston has captured 29 conference championships and 7 Atlantic region titles while producing 14 All-Americans, 151 All-Region honorees, and 158 individual MEC champions. Charleston has really been, in many respects, they have been sort of the standard bearer for the Mountain East Conference. I think kind of the fun of this year is the fact that they are now in kind of the challenger's role, even though many expect them to be the race favorite, the course favorite as a group, and certainly they have higher aspirations than just the conference championship here. But they are challenging a Davis-Elkins team that is the defending champs from this race a year ago. Yeah, and Coach Bias is a phenomenal coach. And you asked earlier about what people could expect from the race itself. Someone like Coach Bias can get his team ready for something like this, and they may be a dark horse that appears in that race. But if anyone can do it, it's going to be him. He's got the creds. He's nationally ranked, especially on the men's side. But he's coaching both men and women, so they get the benefit of having a great coach. We are going to check in momentarily with our man on the course in just a moment, Jesse Skiles, longtime coach and athletic director. Before we do that, let's talk a little bit about Davis and Elkins, led by Jason Piles, the 2025 MEC Men's and Women's Cross Country Coach of the Year. It's his 10th year at Davis and Elkins, and of course, we talked about it. You know, they kind of came and took this race by storm a year ago, and they're bringing back one of the best runners in the Mountain East Conference from a season ago in Lauren Twyman, who is, I mean, the list of accolades is very, very lengthy for what she has done. They bring in Jenna Barnett, very, very accomplished runner, former excellent high school basketball player as well in the state of West Virginia. What do you like about this Davis and Elkins squad ahead of this women's race? Well, like Coach Bias, Coach Piles is a phenomenal running mind, and his teams run packs, and they'll feed off of each other today, and I like that. And you mentioned Lauren and some of the other runners. They'll feed off each other. This is a good team. Their men and women are both phenomenal. So the program's in good shape and good hands with him. So I just believe there'll be a strong pack. There'll be some front runners, but there'll also be some people in that next phase who's going to try to win the race. Jesse Skiles is out on the course right now. We're going to check in with him fairly regularly today to see what's going on out there. Jesse, can you hear us right now?
Yes, I got you.
Hey, so what are the conditions like out there? I know it's a little chilly for us this morning, but I think the runners probably like this.
Oh, ideal. Perfect temperature, sun splash day out here, in the rolling hill section of Ogilvie, and they're getting ready to fire it. Start was delayed a little bit here. They're getting ready to fire it, getting ready to bring the kids to the line out here.
Very good. What's the energy like among the runners out there right now?
Yeah, a lot of energy. They got a few extra run-outs. Got the crowd a little more vocal, and y'all can probably hear them from down there. And here they go. They're bringing them to the line right now. And the gun is off. They're off.
Very good.
They're heading down.
Jesse, much appreciated. We're going to check back in with you regularly as the race has officially begun. Coach Swiger, Mark Swiger here with me, and I'm curious, start of a race, what's the most important thing you're looking for a runner?
Jesse, you know that, right? Just going to be consistent through the race. Early, some people go out a little bit too hard, but the people who are waiting in that second pack or so will be contenders. And I think just being smart, it's a tough course, tactical course, and I believe that whoever uses that to their advantage will be fine. I think that's in the mindset of every one of those runners who are out front.
When you're getting started and you're maybe in the middle of the pack, what are you doing as a runner? You just running your own race, keeping your own pace, or is there a thought where you're saying, I'm going to pace myself early and power through later?
Well, there are different kinds of runners. Some run best from the front and run a little bit scared and stay out in front of things. There are very tactical ones. I've had runners over the years, and I'm sure Jesse has too, that are very good at coming from the second half of the race and catching up with the pack and possibly winning. So every runner is different. And I think the coaching comes into play here. So if you can control that to a degree with your team and run as a pack, then you're going to be better off, I believe.
I love this. Is phenomenal, folks. What you're seeing right now is drone footage. I believe this is our drone footage, and it is following the racers, staying with them as this goes on. We are just underway. The heat started just under 2 minutes ago, and these racers have a 6K to go here. And we've talked a little bit about Davis and Elkins. We've talked a little bit about Charleston. There are some pretty accomplished runners as well, Coach, from Point Park, from Glenville State, who are going to be competing in this as well. So there are reasons to believe there are a couple of folks who could probably challenge the supremacy of a Charleston or Davis and Elkins today. Yeah,
I think so too. And I spoke with Coach Creamer this morning, a longtime friend, but he used to coach at Seton Hill. They had all kinds of championships. So like Coach Bias and Coach Piles, we never count Coach Creamer's teams out either, because Point Park's women are a dark horse here. You know, they're not out of the woods. They have a great runner at the front for them, Cassandra O'Connor, and so it would be someone to watch, and has lost very little in the conference this year, so she's someone to watch.
Tim Creamer, by the way, now in his 5th season as the head cross-country track and field coach at Point Park. Took over the program in 2021 and originally began his time as an assistant at Point Park for 3 years before taking over. It's his 24th year coaching collegiately, and as you mentioned, had a storied tenure at Seton Hill. And for this Point Park group, they've got a couple of excellent runners on the women's side. You mentioned Cassandra O'Connor, who was 3rd place at Lock Haven, 4th place at CMU. Zabine von Westernhagen has had a very strong season, 5th at the West Liberty Invitational, 22nd at the Colonial Invitational. Let's take a quick look before we check back in with Jesse. Let's take a quick look at this Glenville State side, who has a couple of really excellent runners as well. Natalie Barr, really in many respects, we haven't even mentioned her today, and one of the best runners in the conference, became the first Pioneer in program history to be all region when she did it in 2023, and has set all sorts of Pioneer program first, and has really done great work for this Glenville State program.
And not afraid to go out and win races. She just won a major 200-plus runner race this year, so never count them out. I think generally speaking, and Coach Skiles is a big Glenville person from back in the 80s. All those great teams he had back then, now managing the athletic department there. Like to think that there's an air of cross-country supremacy ahead for Glenville, and I think part of that is just the new coach they've put in, and also Coach Skiles being there.
Let's check in with Jesse now, our longtime coach and athletic director, who is right at the front of the race. Jesse, what are you seeing, and who's up front?
Reporting from the field at the
do we have Jesse?
Yep. Okay,
Hey, Jesse.
You got me.
Yeah, hey, Jesse. So I was just saying, what are you seeing, and who's kind of leading the way right now?
Well, right now we're waiting on them to come up through here a little past they would get into the 2nd mile. They have not reappeared up here, coming up the hill here in front of where the start was. So we're expecting them. We think we hear the lead vehicle off in the distance here.
Yeah, it's spread out. 3 or 4 runners are kind of spread out. One's it looks like maybe a 20, 30-meter lead on second. So looking forward to seeing who that might be. We're working off of a drone, so I'm sorry for not having more information.
Yeah, and I'll grab that for you when they come through here. And I know that, last year's champion Lauren Twyman we expect to see up there, Cassandra O'Connor at Point Park, and Rebecca Tellez, Natalie Barrs, several key runners that have had some big years that we expect to see up here. Here comes the lead vehicle. I'll have it in front of me here in about 30 seconds. They're going to appear.
Okay, so, and I'll remind folks that we are just 6 minutes and 10 seconds into this race, and what you're seeing right now, the lead runner is running uphill at this moment in time. So, Jesse, I'm curious, we've got two excellent former coaches here. How hard is it to do what they're doing at this point in the race?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, you got to stay in race mode, but you really got to manage your pace for what lies ahead.
Yeah, in the beginning of that second half of the race.
They will have another comeback around here to come back to this hill.
Right. Yeah, in the second half of that race, when everyone doubts themselves a little bit, it's those people with the mental capacity to push through some of that pain in the middle. That's hard to do, but it is a very important part of the race.
There are runners today, both in the men's and women's races, who really have had extremely accomplished seasons and have actually outraced some Division I runners. There was an event at Louisville earlier this season, and that's so what you're seeing some of the best runners in the region today.
Jesse, you have a report?
Yeah, that was Cassandra O'Connor of Point Park in the lead, Natalie Barr of Glenville in second, and then you had Molokita of Wesleyan up there making a strong start there up there. Looks like Wesleyan had two of the top five there at that point. So we're early on here. A lot of race left.
So O'Connor, by the way, has had a top 10 finish in every meet so far this season and has been the MEC Runner of the Week twice, both in the month of September. We have not talked a lot about West Virginia Wesleyan today, so let's go talk about our friends over in Buchanan, West Virginia, and Wesleyan coached by Kelsey Stowers, 7th year with the program, 4th year as the head coach there. They were, as a team, 5th out of 19 at Carnegie Mellon, 4th place at Virginia Tech, and they've got some very accomplished runners, guys. What do you like about West Virginia Wesleyan's group? And why don't we start with you, Jesse?
Well, Kelsey does a great job of bringing those groups along. They've got several kids there that, put up some good track times that came along, and they could definitely be a factor here of really mixing things up. They went out strong. Like I said, when they came by, they had two of the top five and had I think a 9 and 11 at that point, which would really put them in a good spot.
And then, Mark, talk a little bit about Wesleyan and some of the work they've done this year.
Yeah, I've always had a lot of respect for Wesleyan over the decades with Coach there, and right now going out and having two of those top spots that's going after it. And if they can maintain that and have a couple pop on up, you've got a strong pack in the second half of the race. And that second half of the race, anything can happen. I mean, you've got lots of pack running that's probably taking place in that next group. So be anxious to see how that plans out. But Wesleyan going out like that, they have a desire to win, so they may do it. It's a dark horse.
Lindsey Dillon, probably their strongest runner, 18:26 finish at the 5K at Carnegie, 22:03 at the 6K at Robert Morris. Those were both the best finishes for West Virginia Wesleyan at those events. As we continue on here at the MEC Cross Country Championships, Alex Wiederspiel alongside Mark Swigert, coach and Hall of Famer, and we've got on the course Jesse Skiles, longtime coach and athletic director, as we are bringing to you live the women's 6K race. And the thing is, it's already been kind of a long season for these runners. They have had a lot to do, and I'm always curious about preparation and how it starts, because I imagine we've reached a point now, and you know this over your long history, both of you guys know this over your long history running and coaching, but this is not a seasonal sport anymore. And essentially, you may compete over the course of a season, but it is a year-long commitment.
Right, and it's tough with indoor and outdoor track and cross country having 3 peaks a year and planning for those peaks. So I think most most of us realize that's not going to happen. So you can really focus on the fall season and the spring season and building some mileage. And right now, we're finding out that at this point in the season, those well-conditioned athletes, the ones who become adapted to the lactic acid and the mileage and the hard work, are the ones who now are using that lactic acid as fuel. So it's that time of the year when all of it comes together. If you're well trained, this is a great time of the year.
I am curious about, and I will start with you, Mark, but we can go to both of you on this one. When these runners woke up this morning, first of all, what time do you think they're getting up? What's the prep day? We talked a little bit about the prep over the season. What's the prep like, though, for a race that you're running first thing in the morning?
Well, I can speak from a personal standpoint, but also from having coached a lot of different athletes over the year. There are a lot of different ways to do this. I've very seldom ever ate the day of a race, and I know that some people need that fuel. So everyone's a little bit different that way. There's a ritual that goes on into this sport, very much a routine, but people have rituals, and sometimes teams do them together. But individuals have their own way of preparing for these races. Most of the time, and back when I was running, my now wife, girlfriend at the time, hated it on race day, because on race day was fine, but the week leading up was when I did the preparation. It didn't happen that morning. So it takes some time to prepare. So if you do, the ones who prepare over time tend to be a little more successful. The ones who just have a routine one day, I don't know if that's enough.
We are about almost 13 minutes into this race now, and Jesse, throwing to you for a moment, what type of prep work would you typically go through, or your runners go through, for a race like this?
Everybody's on channel 2.
Oh, I don't think we have Jesse at the moment. One thing I'll go over real quick before we get him back. So this season, some of the runners that we've already talked about have had just a tremendous start. But I wanted to go over some of the cross-country runners of the week and go back. So Cassandra O'Connor of Point Park has done it twice. Emily Weishart of Frostburg State was the co-runner of the week with Cassandra O'Connor once. Megan Mitchell of Fairmont State did it once. Lauren Twyman of Davis-Nelkins did it once. And then Natalie Barr, back-to-back weeks as the MEC runner of the week. And we're expecting potentially some very big things from Natalie today. I don't even think it's fair to really call her a dark horse. I mean, she's right up there among the pack of favorites that we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you become a runner of the week in the league, that means you've got some cred, right? And coaches see it, the conference sees it, and so you don't get those awards just from being in the race. It's not a participation award. Those awards come because of the work that you get done.
The expectation, and you can hear, by the way, there are some really good. There's some really good audio we're hearing right now of folks encouraging runners on. And let's talk about that for a second, because now they've been going at a really, really good pace here for 14 and a half minutes. It only gets harder from here, I imagine.
Yeah, it just depends on the actual course. I mean, I know there are a lot of little downhills and turns back in the woods by the tennis courts. There's a lot of action that can take place back there. So, yeah, everyone at this point has been out there for almost 15 minutes, and there's a little bit of pain involved in that, but it's those people with the mental capacity and determination to fight through and think smartly the rest of the way through. But, a lot of the uphills are done after this one we're watching now from the finish line. They go up the hill, then they circle around, and you get a lot of downhill and turn running from there on in.
Let's talk a little bit about Concord, as they were picked to finish third in the preseason poll under first-year head coach Jonathan Keigel, who was previously an assistant at Lynn University, took over for the legendary coach Mike Cox, who stepped away. This is a program that has a contender for MEC Freshman of the Year in Violet Wall. Katie Walkup was a two-time All-MEC second team and comes from a family of excellent runners as well. Avery Lilly, a three-sport athlete at Summers County High School, cross-country, girls basketball, track and field. A lot of talent from the Concord side as well.
Yeah, and a strong tradition. Concord usually comes in with the mindset of trying to win this thing, and both men and women. And with Mikey having retired and he stayed at the school. He didn't fully retire, but having some big shoes to fill. But him being on campus is helpful as well. So never count them out. Concord's been a fixture in the league since the league started. And even before that, when it was the WIEC, they were always in the hunt for these championships.
Let's check in with Jesse Skiles out on the course right now. Jesse, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
What are you seeing?
I see that D&E that went out very strategically and laid back. They really asserted themselves in that second mile and had 3 ladies in the top 10 coming through here. O'Connor still in the lead. Barr was still in second, but D&E had really, as a group, moved up there and asserted themselves.
Wait, say that again. Who did you say was in the lead?
O'Connor was in the lead when they came by here.
Gotcha, okay.
Great. Well, Jesse, that's that pack running we talk about a lot in the sport. And Dave Silkins does that pretty much every year. They run in packs, and so he's got them ready. And if they've moved up that much, it's going to be a tough race. How's Wesleyan holding up out there?
Yeah, they still had they had fallen back some, but they were still sitting 10, 11, and 13 when they came through here, and their 4 was in the low 20s, so they're still in a good team spot.
Right.
And but looked like there was a lot of packs. There's going to be a lot of places changing here between 2.5 to the finish. It looks like.
Talk about, and we'll start with you, Mark. Talk about the benefit of pack running and why that's a strategy that teams employ.
Well, there are a lot of reasons why you want to run in a pack, but some of it's just motivational.
Really, strategically and use the group energy, moving up, getting the energy as you pass people. And like I said, from that 1 1/4 here, towards the end of the second mile, D&E really packed some places in and made a lot of passes.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of talking that can take place with teammates, motivational. A lot of reasons why pack running is effective. And if you can get that gap from 1 to 5 gap down to 30 seconds or less, you've got a good chance of winning if you're up in the front.
Let's talk a little bit about Frostburg State. They were also picked to have a pretty solid finish this year, 4th in the conference. Also, like Concord, under a first-year head coach, first ever woman head coach in Marianne Hutchins, who previously coached at Division II Colorado School of Mines and coached as well at James Madison, was a Division I track and field pole vaulter for Purdue, and some really strong racers led by team captain Paige Etnoyer, a junior who had her season best at Carnegie Mellon in the 5K, season best at Lock Haven in the 6K, 23:35, and holds the program's 5th best 4K time ever for Frostburg State. Frostburg State, obviously one of the newer MEC additions from just a couple of years ago, not the newest anymore. That, of course, belongs to Point Park. But Frostburg State, one of the newer additions to the Mountain East Conference. How have you liked how they have fit in?
Well, Jesse can attest to this as well. Back in when it was the WIC years, what Frostburg's always been a force in cross country, having attended their meets and so forth. So there's a strong tradition there. It's good to have them in the league because they're so close in proximity to a lot of the other schools. So I think it's a natural fit. The progression is impressive, so we'll see how that fares in the long term.
Have you seen much of the Frostburg State team so far, Jesse?
Yeah, they've got some spots mixed out through there. Right now, they're coming right through us, the leaders. O'Connor's extender lead. Natalie Barr still solid. Linville still solidly in second. Then it goes D&E Charleston. So a lot of parity in the league right front. So, again, Barr looks like she's handling this hill, but O'Connor's really extended it out. And Linville's getting a good race from their number 2, Jenna Barnett, who's hanging in there right now. It's like in a 7th spot. So that, and Coach Swire can tell you, get them low numbers. The Yeah, D&E right now looks like 3, 6, and 7 in a good spot. So they've Frostburg, they got a nice pack, and we'll see how back there where those numbers fall in.
How's Point Park looking
but it looks
up
like
there,
D&E,
too?
their force coming through right now, and they put themselves in a good spot team-wise.
With Cassandra running away with it at this point, how's Point Park look behind her? Jesse?
Yes.
How does Point Park faring right now with the leader out front, but how's their pack? Or do they have one?
Yeah, I have not seen their 2. I just saw Wesleyan's first 2 coming back. Looks like they're in that more like 16, 17, 19 range right now. But Point Park, right now, the way it's fallen, even with O'Connor running away with it, that the pack at D&E's will be, looks like that may be too much.
Yeah.
And here comes some of the Frostburg runners coming through here right now at the 20.
We are getting close to the end of the race for the runners out front, and O'Connor, you said, still had the biggest lead, correct?
Yeah, she's well out in front, and then Natalie Barr was still in second. She had about a 15 meter lead over Lauren Twyman, who was in third, but Twyman was very strong as well. So it'll be interesting how they kick it home here.
We're on the home stretch right now.
Yeah, it looks like our first runner, I think we've got O'Connor by a pretty lengthy margin here. They were just setting up the finish line, and she has officially crossed it. So that'll come in right around that 22:35 mark. And Cassandra O'Connor turned in a third-place finish at Lock Haven, as we mentioned. Top 10 finish in every race this season. And she's going to wind up winning this thing as we're starting to get runners pulling in and finishing the race. We've got our second and third. Yep. And that looks like, I'm guessing that is Barr from Glenville, who just crossed in third. And for Frostburg, we'll have to check on who that runner was. But we are starting to get a few more crossing the finish line here. We got another one from Glenville coming over now.
So that's Frostburg as well.
Yep. And
Charleston.
And just the look at the exasperation, the exhaustion. What are they feeling right now, Coach? Having successfully crossed that finish line.
Well, you're looking for your teammates, for one thing. You're seeing where they finish, and you hang around and wait for them to come in. You can see a lot of that taking place right now. It's a tough course, so you're exhausted as well. So you're just, but the excitement of being in a championship far outweighs that exhaustion at this point.
It is a grueling race, and you can tell they are
changing hands down that last 800.
Yeah.
A lot of good racing coming at you guys.
Yeah, Jesse, what are you seeing here in the final moments?
There's a lot of racing, a lot of places changing hands this last 600, coming right back at you as they make the turn coming down the hill back here in that 15 to 30 range of the pack.
From a scoring perspective, guys, how critical is it for, like, where do you generally, if you're trying to take home the team title, how, obviously outside of you'd love to finish, I'm sure, everybody in the top 5, but what are you looking at strategically as far as where you want runners to generally place?
Well, Jesse and I both know that every point counts. So if you can just pick off one in that straightaway, it makes a huge difference in the team score. So you get everything out of it as you can. That's just simply the way you look at it, both as coaches and athletes.
Yeah, how much those 4 and 5 matters, and extra 6 and 7, especially if you get them in front of some other people's 5. How much that can change the whole narrative here as they come home.
Yeah, and it's the difference between a 1-point win and a 3-point loss a lot of times.
Yep.
So it's just that simple effort. It may be in the last 50 meters, not the last 800. It may happen right here, right in front of us.
Yeah, we'll get, as we get them, we will have results for you. We do know that Cassandra O'Connor finished first, and I believe Natalie Barr was third.
Yes.
But outside of that, as the runners are beginning to finish en masse, the big question will then become, where this all falls on the points spectrum here. Again, we've talked about a number of these teams, and certainly for Charleston, for Davis and Elkins, who I think we both agree that there's a strong reason to think that they're the favorites. Charleston, of course, one of the most accomplished programs in D2, and one of the, if not the most accomplished program in the MEC. Davis and Elkins, the defending champions in this race. How do you guys size up how you think they ran, just based, without looking at any numbers right now, but based on what we saw? How do you size up how these two programs fared?
I'm going to defer to Jesse because I've been here at the finish line, so I didn't see a whole lot of the movement out there between the mile splits, for instance. Jesse, what did you see pack-wise? You said there were a lot of changes the last 800 meters, but where was where was Frostberg? Or we know Cassandra ran away with it, but we were thinking Point Park could be a dark horse.
Yeah, Point Park, obviously what Cassandra did, but the rest of their pack was there were several teams that D&E especially, they ran very strategically and really moved up in that, like I said, from about 1.25 miles to that 2.25, and really asserted themselves and put the ones up there with that pack. And I'm just interested to see how that group with Charleston, Glenville, Frostburg, Wesleyan, how they held in. Wesleyan went out aggressive, and they certainly held on to some spots there late.
Well, we are seeing results now. We have the unofficial top 8, and it's Cassandra O'Connor as expected, based on what we saw. Lauren Twyman 17 seconds behind in second. Natalie Barr was 23 seconds off the leaderboard, or off the leader, I should say, at number 3. Lydia Falkenstein, we haven't really talked much about her in this one. We will get to her in just a moment. Jenna Barnett, Amanda Ferrante of Charleston, Rebecca Tellez, and Savannah Hartman. That right now is your unofficial top 8. But those results pretty much jive with what we saw as we were coming through this one. We haven't talked as much about Lauren Twyman, who finishes number 2 in this race, and obviously an extremely accomplished runner from Davis and Elkins. So that's about where you're hoping for if you're D&E.
Yeah, that's right. And I had problems spotting out the uniforms because they change every year too. But yeah, that was a great race by Lauren. But also
Savannah and Rebecca as well. So that's 3 runners potentially in the top 8 for D&E.
Yeah. So that pack would be hard to beat. And Jesse knows as well as I do that every point counts, especially if you're up near the top. You put a third place, a second and a third, and an 8th. I mean, you're already got a low score in a meet this size. So those all count. That's important.
Glenville as well, by the way. Barr and Barnett unofficially both finishing top 8 there. So keeping that in mind, that gives the Pioneers an opportunity for a really good finish here as we're going through some of these numbers now. Jesse, are there any racers left? Has everybody crossed at this point?
Now, we still have a few runners still out here coming around. Maybe a few more minutes here before they're all in.
Where are you at, Jesse?
I am up here with about 600 to go between the start line and the finish line as they're making this last turn coming to you.
Okay. Good. So you saw a lot of that movement going on with those packs, I'm sure. Yeah, D&E's race was impressive to come back in the second half of the race as a pack like they did. And that doesn't surprise me, does it you?
No, not at all. And I think it's, just coaches are, plotting their strategy, do what they got to do. And I feel like, what Kelsey did up there with, Wesleyan, they stuck their nose in there early to give themselves a chance. And, fought, the whole spots, and D&E went the opposite route there with, really, playing the second half of the course as their strategy. And, I think what Alex was saying, I think Glenville has 2 low numbers in there, and and yeah, they were picked ninth preseason. You know, I think they're going to get a good team placed in there with those two low numbers in there in the pack. And then you got
there are 4 Senators in the top 8, and Lydia Falkenstein, who I wanted to mention before, former MEC Freshman of the Year, back-to-back first teamer. We hadn't really talked about her much in this race, but she winds up finishing 4th. And if you look at D&E, I think it's going to be very hard to top what they have done at this race. They may very well have defended.
Yeah, with what Lydia ran, and then of course we talked about climbing Rebecca Tellez. I mean, that's some tremendous runners, and you know, Lydia really came up big for them here, especially in the second half of this race. And it's going to be tough for anyone to overcome there with what D&E did.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll return with more action from here at Ogle Bay Resort. At the course, this is the MEC Cross Country Championships on MEC TV.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community in the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners. Because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan. Here for you.
Attention all car buyers, it's deal time at the all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Come see the team at Cardinal Chevrolet and let us show you what a great deal really looks like. No games, no gimmicks, just great prices on all the Chevys you love. If you want to save a buck on your next car or truck, come see us at Cardinal Chevrolet. Silverados, Equinox, Blazers, all recently reduced and ready for immediate delivery. Our best deals, your best time to buy. The all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Exit 34 of I-64 in Hurricane, West Virginia. Together, let's drive.
I mean, all I grabbed was 20.
We're back on the MEC Sports Network on MEC TV. Alex Wiederspiel, Coach Mark Swagger, and we have first place finisher in the race, Cassandra O'Connor. Did you wake up this morning thinking this is what you were going to do?
No, that was the goal, but you never know. You never know who's going to have a great day and who's going to step up to the challenge.
Take me through your mindset this morning. How do you prep for the race?
I just kind of try to stay as relaxed as possible. I'm not much of the try to like hype up. I'm more of like a relax because I feel like the adrenaline of the race is always going to hit you. So try to combating that energy and just kind of be relaxed going into it because you know you're going to be hyped when you get there. So
It looked to us like you were prepared for that race. So whatever it is, you did right. I just hope the experience, that long, slow preparation takes place over that. You get up and get hyped up.
It's a long haul. You start from day one. So in August, you think of this race. So, yeah.
What was the biggest challenge on the course?
I would say just not falling asleep. It's a really easy course to just kind of, once you hit those up and down hills, to try to kind of have a mental lapse, but you got to always stay mentally engaged and just be ready for the next. So always thinking ahead. So once you hit that next hill, you can't be complacent. You just got to think of the next thing is up and what you need to do to accomplish it. We try. I mean, all the thanks to our coaches, we do prep for this race. We never actually get a run here, but there's a lot of simulation that goes on, and just trying to make it feel as naturally as possible when we get here.
Very good. What's next?
Well, unfortunately, Point Park is not eligible for regional internationals, so it's on the track for me. It's It's indoors, outdoors, so a lot more racing hopefully under my belt.
I guess a better question on a micro level. What do you do after a race? How do you bring yourself down after a race like this?
Well, if it was my ideal race I would go fly access. Nothing's better than the sky. So yeah.
Very cool. Cassandra, really appreciate it. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank
Great
you.
race.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that is Cassandra O'Connor, who just won first place here at the 6K at the MEC Cross Country Championships. We are closing in on the end of the race. I don't know if we have any runners left at this point. I don't know if Jesse can hear us. I don't think Jesse can hear us. Oh,
Couple at we're in the back here, so it'll be just a couple minutes. See one coming around now. I think they said there's one more back there coming. I see the vehicle right now, so it just looks like there's two more back here.
Okay, very, very good. Did you want Jess? Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Apologies, folks. We are back right after this on the MEC Sports Network.
The people here are fantastic.
My classmates rock.
I haven't met anybody that I don't like here. It is definitely a very diverse university.
My roommates from Sweden, Germany,
Caribbean, so many places.
The academics has been stellar as well.
The professors are very nice here.
Every single person within the classroom feels appreciated. The campus is absolutely beautiful.
Everything's a close, easy walk.
I will recommend this place to everyone.
I feel so at home here.
Our mission as educators is to help you grow, explore, and achieve your aspirations. When our seniors graduate, they receive more than just a diploma. They leave Wheeling University with clarity, purpose, and the confidence that they need to succeed throughout their career. Exceptional experiences, exciting opportunities, meaningful guidance, and lifelong friendships. This is the foundation and academic excellence we believe in. That's the Wheeling University difference.
Welcome to your home among the hills. At West Virginia Wesleyan College, you'll unearth new passions, be exposed to fresh perspectives, and find what drives you. This place of discovery is where you can become a scientist, a leader, an athlete, a performer, a friend. Opportunities include research, internships, and study abroad. Plus, our vibrant community makes for experiences you'll never forget. Discover yourself at West Virginia Wesleyan College.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there? At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have. No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Trying to find where you fit in the world can be challenging. But then there's a moment where it all comes together. And that moment happens at Point Park University. Career-focused programs converge with a vibrant downtown campus to prepare you for work and life. From experienced professors and internships to culture and job opportunities, you'll get the best of both worlds. Point Park University, where it all comes together.
Glenville State University offers cutting-edge programs, small class sizes, and dedicated faculty providing students with a personalized experience focused on their success. With the lowest tuition in the Mountain State, every student has the opportunity to achieve their goals. At Glenville State University, you'll find a community that supports, challenges, and inspires you every step of the way. From hands-on learning in state-of-the-art facilities to internships that connect you with real-world opportunities, we prepare you for the challenges and triumphs of tomorrow. Pioneer your future at Glenville State University.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you. Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
We're going to be joined by MEC Commissioner Reed Amos in just a moment here. We're still tallying. Well, we are not tallying up anything, but there are still folks tallying up the final numbers. We have seen the individual results so far, and very impressive showing for Davis and Elkins, very impressive showing for Glenville State, impressive showing, of course, for Point Park with Cassandra O'Connor coming in first. Alex Wiederspiel here alongside Mark Swiger. We've got Jesse right now on the phone as well. He was out on the race course. He'll be back there with us during the men's race as well, the 8K that is coming up here in about, I believe we're closing in on less than 15 minutes now. So before we bring Reed on, Coach, real quick, what is going through a runner when we get to these final 10 minutes before, and how are they psyching themselves up for the race?
Just like the women did. They're up there jumping around, getting a few sprints in, getting the oxygenated blood platelets in your body ready to perform. And it's the same every week. And those people with routines, like Cassandra told us, they're the ones who are going to come out on top. So I think they're just getting ready mentally and physically for what's coming up.
Well, it's a great reminder, too, having talked with Cassandra, that every athlete has their own mindset for how they get into sort of their zone, that for her it's more about being even keel and allowing that to kind of guide her, because, as she said, the adrenaline of the race is going to take care of the rest of that, so she's not hyping herself up in the morning. Again, we're going to be joined here by Commissioner Reed Amos, and he is here with us now. Excellent morning for a race.
Absolutely perfect. I mean, you got the expert standing to your right, but from a weather standpoint, based on what I've learned from experts like him over the years, you couldn't ask for much better conditions for a race than today. 2-mile-an-hour winds, temperatures rising little by little after the first frost here at Oglebay overnight, and ideal race conditions and a fantastic venue for this event.
Really is, and yeah,
a lot of great footing too. I mean, the course is in great shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean, we were
staff.
That heavy rain a week ago, and it's been pretty dry since that point. And so I don't know that we can get this course in much better condition. Dave Hickman and Mike Smith and all of the folks that provide us with support and setup and timing, and our officials have just done an outstanding job here.
Yeah, there's an excellent turnout today as well. We could hear it, the encouragement over the audio as we were talking to Jesse. What does it mean also for these runners to have folks who can kind of watch and cheer them on as this is going on?
Hey, this is exactly what we've wanted. I still remember my first year as commissioner, and at that point I had been to a track championship and in past years before the Mountain East was formed, but I'd never been to a cross-country championship, and I was amazed at how many people were there. And I'd say over the last 13 years, with the tradition that we've built, we've maybe doubled that. So it is. I was struck in driving up to the start line for the first race that it seemed to me like it was the largest crowd I'd ever seen heading up to the starting line. So the combination of the tradition that's been built, how strong cross country and track and field is becoming in our league, some outstanding national finishes over recent years, particularly in the fall of 22 at the Fall Festival in Seattle was probably a high watermark for this sport for our schools. So it's been really fun to watch the rise of cross country and track and field in our league over the last 13 years, and I think even better days are coming.
You see us doing a great job over the years. And we're having it here at Oglebay. This is sort of the championship course.
Yeah, it's a difficult course, no question about it. If there's any criticism that we hear about the course, it's that some of the cross-sloping in places is difficult. It's a championship. We want this to be a championship-level test. We want it to be one of the hardest races that they see, but not so much that it causes difficulty with recovery, because regionals are coming and then nationals are coming, right? So we're trying to strike a balance across all of those things to provide a really good championship experience, a really difficult test, but one that doesn't impede them going forward.
We have a fair course. We have Reed Amos with us, Commissioner of the Mountain East Conference. Is that a conversation that you have with coaches year in and year out?
Sure.
Where they're thinking about this from the perspective of we want to get ready for the next race?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, it's a conversation we have ongoing individually with coaches when we have them together for their annual meeting as a group. We talk about it with athletic administrators, but ultimately the responsibility to determine what takes all things into consideration and where we go for our championships ultimately rests in my office. But we want to be consultative about that. We want to hear the coaches' input. We want to hear the student athletes' input. The financial situation obviously is important. We need to be able to operate this with the highest level of quality that we can at a reasonable cost. And so those are just a few of the factors, all of which we take into account. And overall, I think that we deliver on a really good championship experience for our student athletes here, and one that's very sustainable. And we've had an outstanding partner in the Wheeling CVB, as well as with Ogilvy as the host for this event.
And I remind folks of this all the time when I do my radio show. You can't do a job like yours without being like a really big sports fan and to truly love competition like this. What's the most impressive thing you saw today?
Well, there's a number of things that I think are really impressive. I'm always struck by how much the student athletes in this sport strain to achieve. I mean, when you see them come across that finish line, and you always see a number of them, you can tell that they have expended everything that the current condition of their body allows them to bring to the table to get them across that finish line. And above all things, I'm consistently struck by that, and always am amazed by seeing the effort that the student athletes put out in this race. And you see it at every level, and to see how important it is to them to perform well in our championship. They honor the entire league with the effort that they put in. That's what I'm always struck by.
I know you've got work to do because the men's race is coming up, so thanks for joining us.
Gentlemen,
really
thank you. Appreciate having you here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We are going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be back right after this, and we will have the men's 8K championship for the Mountain East Conference coming up in just a moment on the MEC Sports Network on MEC TV. We are back at Ogle Bay Resort on MEC TV. Alex Wiederspiel, and joined alongside by Mark Swiger, who is my broadcast analyst, Hall of Famer, and former coach, as well as Jesse Skiles, who's out on the course for our second race coming up as well, longtime coach and athletic director. So team results, and I don't think we're surprised by number one, especially after seeing 4 of 8 finishers in the top 8 from Davis and Elkins. They will defend their women's title from last season. But how about Charleston edged out by Point Park at number 2. Terrific finish for Cassandra O'Connor. Charleston at 3. Glenville State 4. West Virginia Wesleyan 5. Frostburg at 6. Concord at 7. West Liberty 8. Fairmont State at 9. Wheeling at 10. And West Virginia State at 11. That is a tremendous race for Davis and Elkins.
Yeah, and you can even look at the Point Park number. The second, third, fourth runners were packed. And so they actually passed packs that were, in front of them in the team score. So it was a pretty dominant race by Davis and Elkins, though, to have 22 points in a cross-country meet this size. That's a near perfect execution of strategy.
Yeah, going further down, by the way, we talked about 4 of the top 8. They also had the 11th place finisher as well for this one.
That's how you get to 22 points.
Yeah. Jean Pellissier, kudos. Megan Mitchell of Fairmont State, a very accomplished runner, by the way, rounds out the top 10. We got the top 8 already. We'll go over that top 10 one more time. Cassandra O'Connor wins the race at 22:28, 17 seconds better than Lauren Twyman of Davis Nelkins. Natalie Barr in 3rd for Glenville. Lydia Falkenstein, Davis Nelkins in 4th. Jenna Barnett of Glenville in 5th. That's your top 5. Amanda Ferrante of UC in 6th. Rebecca Tellez and Savannah Hartman 7th and 8th, both for Davis and Elkins. Violet Wall of Concord at number 9. Megan Mitchell of Fairmont State at number 10. And worth noting here that obviously Fairmont State and Concord, team perspective, the finish probably wasn't as good as they were hoping for, but those are some very, very good races run to finish with a top 10 finish for both Wall and Mitchell.
It was a competitive race. We were watching it on the drone. Just other than Cassandra kind of running away from it, there were a lot of things going on in that second group, and it pans out in the finish numbers. And then some of the high performances of some of the people that we didn't mention earlier, those are impressive. This is not an easy meet.
Yeah, West Virginia Wesleyan finishes in 5th, by the way, and some of that, we talked about Wesleyan a little bit earlier in the broadcast. They wind up with 3 runners in the top 16, really powering them into a top 5 team finish. So kudos to them. Mariam Al-Zubai, Lindsay Dillon, 2 very accomplished runners, and Maramo Akita finishing 12, 13, and 16, respectively. And, boy, you can really see the numbers. We're down to just seconds here. Al-Zubai beats Dillon by about 3.5 seconds. Bethany Wallace was about 1.5 seconds behind Lindsay Dillon. That pack there, that's when Jesse was talking about how those at the end, you just had places changing hand. We're talking just very, very little seconds at the very end of that race.
Yeah, it was exciting. We could see it here. We couldn't pick out all the runners from here, but they were changing place, and Jesse's right. We were prepared for that. We saw it coming, but Wesleyan, as a preseason ranking, really overachieved compared to where they were early in the year. So kudos to Wesleyan. They were packed up in that second 10 pretty well. But way more accomplished than what the preseason polls said.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear us at the moment? Okay, we don't have Jesse quite this second here, but we'll get him back in just a moment here for the start of the men's race. So one final thought here on the women's race, Coach Swiger. You look at everything that went into this, and any major surprises stand out to you when we look at sort of the top 30 or so finishers? Anything here in particular that really stands out to you that you weren't expecting coming into the race?
Well, I think at the very beginning we mentioned that anything can happen. I've gone into dozens of championship races with my teams. You never count anyone out, and you make sure that everyone's prepared for your race and see how it all comes out. And the way it came out today were the people who were prepared for this. There were those people who came kind of from nowhere. Those people had great days today. There were people who didn't have great days. So it's just that this is a very pure sport that way.
Yeah.
You toe the line, the gun goes, and wherever it ends up is where you deserve.
So the men's race is moments away from getting started here, and actually, in fact, it is officially underway. And so I'm gonna ask both of you this question, but we'll start with you, Mark. How does the course, this is now an 8K, how does this differ from the previous race?
Not much today. The course is in really good shape. If it was muddy out or we had a lot of rain going into this, we had rain, but it was days ago, so it's had time to filter down through. But the course is in really good shape. In fact, the second race on a day like this when it's not muddy may have packed it down and made it a little bit faster.
Jesse, can you hear us now? We still are missing Jesse at the moment. Now you can hear me. Jesse, can you hear us?
Yes, I have you.
Hey, so the race now officially underway. Tell us what you're seeing to start.
Yeah, they're still pretty packed up, the full group down there at the far end of the fairway here. And, what Coach Swigert was saying there about the 6K to 8K, the men do have that additional loop and one additional fairly significant incline to deal with. And if it shakes down the way the women's race does, I think there'll be a lot of movement in there, especially mid-pack. It'll really affect the team scores.
And so let's talk a little bit about the teams competing. And obviously there are certainly some similarities between these two competitions. On the men's side, similar to last year, Davis and Elkins trying to defend a championship. Charleston picked to finish first in the MEC this year in the preseason, trying to reclaim the title. They were, of course, second in the MEC championships a year ago. Charleston third place in the Atlantic region a year ago, 29th in nationals. Now looking at more recently, first place at the West Liberty Invite this year and the Lock Haven Invite, second place at the UAH Chargers Invite. And this group features a lot of really, really accomplished runners. Hugo Hewitt, who has been a multi-time runner of the week in conference. Second place in outdoor track and field championships in the 1,500 meters. Harry Witt, who won the West Liberty Invitational 6K, 18 minutes and 52 seconds. Eighth place finish at the New Zealand XC Championships U20 division. Thomas Crockett, 13th place finish at the UAH as well. Personal best in the 5K with a time of 14:23 on the track. A lot of strong runners for this Charleston side. Let's start with them, Mark. Obviously, there's some motivation here after not being able to come out that top spot a year ago.
Yeah, and this is actually a race I was looking forward to watching today because D&E and Charleston, and I believe Wesleyan's even ranked in the top 10 in the Atlantic region. So some of the top teams in the region going at it. All of them have the potential to pull something out here. Charleston, they come in. They're kind of the top-ranked group, so they'll probably be considered the favorite with a lot of talent and depth. But D&E's right there too. I think they're ranked third in the region, and Charleston's first. So anything can happen. It's just like the women's race. We talked about pack running and tactics. Both of these lead groups that we're talking about are well coached.
This is a Davis and Elkins side as they look to successfully defended their women's title here at the MECs. Now looking to do it on the men's side, bringing in some very, very, no surprise, strong runners in today's meet. Jordan Thomas, who is a two-time conference runner of the week, finished in second place at the Robert Morris Invitational. 10th place at the Lock Haven Invite, was an all first-teamer in the conference last season, and at a 10th place finish in the MEC Championship last year. So forgetting from a team perspective for a moment, you talk about a guy like Jordan Thomas, is the thought here, if you're in his shoes running, your thought is, I want to beat what I did a year ago, right?
Yeah, and he's got some company up front with them, Christopher Lucas, both having run under 25 minutes for 8K this year. That's moving. So, I'm sure he's motivated to accomplish what he did last year. But he's got a cast of characters with him, too.
It's true. Chris Lucas, by the way, an all-MEC first-teamer as well last year.
Yeah, so even within his own team, he's got some folks who will be pulling him and pushing him a little bit. And so D&E's, they've got that consistent pack, sub-25 minute runners. And then we go back over to Charleston, nationally ranked with elite depth. They're not just deep, but they've got some elite runners up front too. So both Coach Bias and Coach Powell's should have their teams ready for this.
Going over some of the strongest runners so far this season who have been honored by the Mountain East Conference. Harry Witt for Charleston, Jordan Thomas for Davis and Elkins, Donovan Tanui from Fairmont State, Hugo Hewitt from Charleston, Jordan Thomas won it a second time, and then Kent Nyland for West Virginia Wesleyan took home the latest conference honors. So those are your winners of the MEC honors this season. Concord picked to finish third on the men's side in the preseason poll. Let's talk a little bit about the Mountain Lions. And looking at this group here, Braden Ward, one of the strongest runners for this group, a two-time all-second teamer. And Brandon Canaday was a runner-up at the Concord Invite, clocking in at 26:04. AJ Skeens was Concord's top runner at the Greater Louisville Classic with a personal best time of 26:10. This is a strong group of runners for Concord.
Yeah, a very consistent program over the years. I'm sure that carries over from Coach Cox's years to the new coach. But this should be exciting for them, too.
Let's check in with Jesse Skiles over. Let's see if Jesse can hear us, actually, because of all the hearing quite a bit of fan chatter in the background. There's a lot of encouragement out there, which is expected. But, Jesse, hey, can you hear us?
I hear you.
Hey, so we're about 7 minutes, almost 7 minutes into this race. What are you seeing so far, and what kind of takeaways do you have from the early stages of this 8K?
The top 6, you have 3 D&Es, 3 Charlestons, and the top 15 is 5 D&Es and 5 Charlestons. And you got 4 Point Parks there together with a couple of Wesleyans and Glenville sprinkled in. The Wesleyan folks are in there about 7, 8. Looks like Glenville's 11 and 15 right now. But, yeah, D&E and Charleston, they have top 15 or 10 athletes from those 2 schools.
And a lot of time to go, which makes this race even more exciting, Jesse. You got those packs up front and accomplished programs. So this should be a nice day for this race.
It's a little warmer, by the way, and I guess I'm curious for you guys, having coached as long as you have. What do you? I mean, is there a range temperature-wise that we're thinking? It's still only 44 degrees right now. Is this still within that sweet spot for where runners want to be, or would they have preferred to start with the temperatures that the women got around 38 degrees when this race started?
I'll beat Jesse to the punch here. Heck no, 44 is perfect, and So and it's a little bit of a sun. There's not a heavy breeze. It's just ideal conditions at this point. So I think 37 is getting down a little bit cool, although it's manageable and it's good. 44 is optimum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once they get warmed up and get moving, that's the optimal time for some strong races. For distance runners. No. Sprinters would say differently, but yeah, for distance running, especially out in cross country, that 40's your sweet spot.
Hey Jesse, we'll get back to the race in a second, but I wanted to just mention the years of admiration I have for you and Coach Shaw and Rich Hoffman. I were sitting at Big Timber in Elkins talking about the good old days, and your name always comes up, and so you deserve a tremendous amount of credit for success in statewide cross country, the historian that you are, and all those things. But I have a lot of admiration for you.
Well, same to you, and we're very blessed for the memories we're able to share through the years at this event. And it's beautiful to see the big crowd we have here today, and where the sport is.
Looking at the race now, I want to take a moment to take a look at some of the Frostburg State runners. Gage Osborne, this is a very junior-heavy group. There are some underclassmen, but Gage Osborne, Jackson Jones, Ray Gibson, and Jack Hines, all juniors for this Frostburg State team. They've all set at various points this season bests. As we are moving on here, we're seeing the runners take a loop to our left. But this Frostburg State team, they have had some really strong performances this season from those 4. And I'm curious, Coach, when you have set season bests like that, you're having this kind of season that Frostburg State has had, does that change at all? Again, we talk about like sort of the pressure levels folks deal with. Does that push you even harder knowing that you've already had season bests or career bests?
Distance runners are interesting people. You got to keep them in a training zone, or if you lose them, it's too late. But it seems as though, for me at least, it would have been motivational to have those times early. I think going up against the best in the league on a day like today, I don't see it being a negative thing having good early times.
And Jesse, just checking in with you real quick. We're seeing runners moving now to our left. And we were talking a little bit about Frostburg State. Have you seen much from Frostburg State, from the Bobcats so far?
They've got a group in that chase pack back there. Still, the Charleston's actually asserted themselves up here, top 3 right now. They got the top 3. Then D&E with the next 3. And looks like we got a group of Frostburg runners coming through here together right now. Back here, behind the D&E group right here in this chase pack. We're back here at the 20.
I'll be very curious to see who the UC runners are. A couple others that I didn't mention from earlier, but Jules Geoffroy Rameau, who has had a really strong season, and also first place in the MEC Outdoor Track and Field Championships, 1,500 meters. So just an incredibly accomplished runner and athlete. Caleb Gilbert as well was 24th at the UAH Chargers Invite and was the MEC Indoor 3,000 meter champion. So no surprise that Charleston and D&E seem to be early on running the pack in the beginning, Jesse.
Absolutely, and I think the strategy employed here, how they're picking a spot to pull away, and I'm going to revert back to that women's race. Cassandra O'Connor, I thought she did a brilliant job today because Twyman got her here last year, and Natalie Barr beat her just 2 weeks ago up at Carnegie Mellon, and I think she made a move where she knew those two could not be near her if she was wanting to win it, and she executed that. And I think the men from Charleston right now are trying to make that move right here to get some separation from the kickers there in that D&E group.
While we have you here, why don't we talk a little bit about Glenville State as well? Some very strong runners coming from the Glenville State side. Nick Pitchford, who finished 30th at last year's MEC Championship, had a 6th place finish with a personal best 25:05 at Carnegie Mellon this year. 9th out of 250 runners at Louisville. And Patrick Riley, Jackson Mallett, Caden Davis, all some excellent runners. Luke Barr as well for this Glenville State Pioneer squad.
Absolutely. Nick and Patrick and Jackson Mallett were all teammates on that state champion Buffalo team down in Putnam County. And Luke Barr, that's the brother of Natalie Barr in there. And, of course, Caden Davis from up in Hampshire County, a lot of in-state kids there. And, I can't say enough about Coach Myers and the job he's done, with the Glenville program and where the women finished today from where they were ranked preseason. And I think they're sticking around. I think actually when they came through the last time, Pitchford was in 8th, sitting behind that front group with D&E and Charleston.
Very good, Jesse.
And Patrick Riley was Rookie of the Year last year at this event.
Jesse, we'll check back in with you in just a moment, okay?
Okay, hey, great. I'll be ready for him to come back up here momentarily.
Okay. And so, Coach, one thing I wanted to mention, looking at a couple of other groups here, and one team that we haven't really mentioned is Point Park. A couple of strong runners in this one, including Elijah Bechtel, junior Luke McKenna as well. McKenna was the first to cross the finish line at the Colonial Invitational, the first of the Point Park Pioneers to cross the finish line there. He was 43rd in a very deep field of runners, including some Division I runners in that race as well. So we'll be following Point Park closely, both on the women's side as we did earlier and on the men's side.
Yeah, and they've made some improvements in meets this year compared to where they finished last year. So Coach Creamer is really high on the progress of these young men. And he did anticipate that their women could be a dark horse, and they came through in the end. So, yeah, I think Point Park is maybe a team of the future. Give Coach Creamer a little bit more time there, I think you're going to see that program emerge as well.
Let's also talk a minute about Fairmont State. We didn't get a chance to talk much about them. Got a top 10 finish on the women's side in the individual runners. Kaylin Christopher's squad has a really strong runner in Donovan Tanui, who we talked about earlier, who certainly has a chance to do very, very well in this race. Ran a 25:13 for an 8K earlier this season, was a runner of the week, as previously mentioned. And Bailey DeMoss as well, who was MEC Freshman of the Year in 2022 and had a personal best of 24:59 and a 10K best, a personal record of 31:25 earlier this season. So Fairmont State, not one that we've spent a lot of time talking about, but a couple of really strong runners for the Falcons.
Yeah, and I would give Coach Christopher another year or two of getting more of those kind of runners. I think she's going to do a great job there. Former Preston County star, went to WVU and All-American, been on all those great teams at WVU, and Sean Cleary. But I think great things to come at Fairmont with her at the helm.
All right, let's check back in with Jesse now, who is on the course, and we're getting closer and closer to having a potential winner. I'm watching them set up the finish line right now, so I know, that's my cue, that I know we're getting closer and closer. So, Jesse, what are you seeing from these runners right now as we get closer to having a potential winner decided?
I tell you what, we're 16 minutes in. I hear the vehicle coming up the hill here. And I'll let you know as they come into view, again, as they disappeared down over the hill, Charleston had assumed the top 3 spots there. And D&E has the next 3. And I'll see if there's any change from that as they come. And here they come. Right. I'm seeing the gold of the University of Charleston. Still 1-2 together here. And those two have gained some separation, and Charleston's still in third. And he's gained separation from fourth. About 20 meters.
I think now's the time it's going to happen out there. He's kind of waiting for packs to join up, and if they break up too much, it sounds like Charleston's got a nice group out front.
Charleston trying to get back, by the way, and that I imagine there's certainly a motivating factor there for UC, as dominant as they've been, having not won either the women or the men's race a year ago. They obviously don't win the women's race today, but there's got to be some serious motivation on that UC side right now because of the level of dominance, and they finally have been challenged a little bit by Dave Snelkins, obviously. So I imagine those runners, they have a real goal in mind here, right, Jesse?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're 1, 2, 3. Nick Pitchford of Glenville's in fourth. And then you got several D&Es. Looks like they have 6 there between 5th and 14th right now. But I see, Charleston's 4 and they're 5. Like if it ended right now, Charleston's really asserted themselves. And Coach Swigert can tell you, you chalk up a 1, 2, 3. That's like the equivalent cross country of a shutout in other sports.
That's right. It's like the Ryder Cup, right? Add up the scores.
Yeah, that's right.
And low score wins. Yeah, so, that makes a huge impact in a race like this. We saw it with the women. 22 points in a championship meet like this. That means there's some big upfront numbers.
Yes.
And you're hearing, by the way, what we're hearing, folks. There is a lot of encouragement right now, and probably one of my favorite parts about this is that, unlike I think in other sports, I think you when you talk to some athletes, they'll say sometimes they kind of tune the crowd out because there's just so many of them. It's almost something, it's overwhelming to the point of overloading the senses. But when you're in a race like this and you're going by individual after individual, the encouragement can actually really help.
Yeah, and out here, and the course is such a good shape, but it's easy to get to. You've got a lot of looping through. The spectators get to see the runners quite often. So that's what you're hearing on our headphones. We're hearing, I'm sure you're hearing on the broadcast.
Jesse, we'll check back in with you in just a moment as we are getting closer to having a winner here, and we'll be back with you momentarily, okay?
All right.
All right, so, Coach, now kind of the home stretch here for a couple of these runners who are trying to get one of those early finishes, a top 3 or a top 6 or a top 10 finish. What is, at this point, what's going on in the body?
There's fatigue. 8K on a hilly course, there's no breaks on this course. You're always battling something, whether it's running downhill fast or going up a steep uphill. tight turns. You can see in this race that they're surging a little bit. You get to that last half mile, this course is kind of flat and down, so you've got to put yourself in preparation to be ready to sprint too. So everyone's got a little bit left, then they're going to have to find it in the rest of this race.
You're watching the same footage that we are, a combination. We have drone footage, we have some still cams as well, as some folks are coming around the turn here. See a couple of UC runners at the moment, and we are getting close to the end of this race, and it sure does look like UC is going to get a couple of very, very high finishes here, which, again, not anything we're surprised by, but almost by. There's been a level of dominance to this race where, if I'm correct, they are not only in the top three, but number 1 and number 2 are way out ahead of number 3, and then number 3 is way out ahead of 4, 5, and 6.
But 6th place is also UC. So you've got that pack, and then there's D&E pack. Linville's fade a little bit, but this will be interesting.
There's a real chance UC could finish with 4 in the top 6, which I think would about wrap up.
Yeah, we'll see where this 5th one is. I haven't seen him yet, but we'll see.
Still lots.
D&E, there's their 5th. Right there.
Still lots of opportunity to switch places here. We've got a pack of runners in sort of these top 30 positions, and final loop here.
I've seen 4 Wesleyan kids come through too, so they're not out of it, at least placing higher. But those 3 teams that were were ranked in the top 10 in the region, they're up front.
And let's check back in with Jesse. Can you hear us okay, Jesse?
Is he on?
Yes, they're coming through here.
Tell me what you're seeing. We just saw, from our perspective, we did just see the UC lead, and they've got quite a lead in 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3, 5 right now. D&E in 4.
Yeah, they were 6.
Concord 6, D&E 7, 8. Now Pittsford is now 9th from Linville. Looks like Sanders of let's see, we got from Wesleyan, and that's not Sanders. He's 10th.
Jesse, it looked like the Wesleyan guys were moving a little bit.
They're moving.
Yeah. So this will be interesting.
Yeah, they are 10, 12, 15 right now, and 17. So they're going to be chalking up a 19 score here.
Yeah, this race is everything it was cracked up to be.
Yes.
We are closing in on a finish here. This is that last sort of extra loop for these runners. And from our perspective, where Mark and I are, that last extra loop does include another trip uphill for them, which is just a nice little extra added bonus late in a race. Hey, time to go up.
Yeah.
These runners are prepared for that. It's like, so you're seeing it like we see it, Jesse. What are the looks on their faces right now?
Yeah, they're reaching down. I mean, they, like as Reed had mentioned earlier about extending everything you have on the course that day. They're reaching down for that last little bit of fuel to take them home down this stretch. And you're going to see a lot of sprints as they come off the hill down into the finish line area.
It has turned into a gorgeous morning here, by the way. Temperatures in the mid-40s and sunny with a very little bit of cloud cover for these runners. So conditions essentially pristine here on an October day, closing in on Halloween. MEC Championships. The women's side, Davis and Elkins defended their title. On the men's side right now, Charleston is looking like they've got a real opportunity potentially here. And again, it's still too early for us to call, but a real opportunity here to take the men's championship after falling in it last year. And certainly for all these runners, this is not the end. The goal is, get a win here, but regionals are coming up, Coach, and that's what they're prepping for next.
Right, and Charleston, D&E, Wesleyan, people are going to be in the front of the meet results today are keenly aware of that. This is an important meet, but most of the coaches are actually looking forward to regionals as well, and hopefully nationals. And Reed talked about it between races, how much the MEC has made an impact at the national meets. Charleston having been as high as 8th place just a couple of years ago. So, no, I think you're right. They're not finished today.
And the question is, speaking of the word finish, we're getting closer and closer as we can see the cart coming our way now, which means that the top runners are about to cross the finish line. We are expecting potential that it's going to be a couple of Charleston runners at the start based on all the reporting that we have had. And as we see this here, looks like we do have a Charleston runner in first and second. And the top 2 runners have crossed.
1, 2, 3, 4 coming around the turn there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, the Ryder Cup comparison really was apt there, guys.
Hey, Jesse, were you counting those points? Like it's the old coach that is saying, how many is that? How many is that?
How many is that? That's right. Everybody out there.
You're counting every point.
Yeah.
That's 3, by the way, and the UC runners embracing there. A good moment as they've had just a tremendous race, and you're spot on. Number 4 also going to be Charleston. They are going to wind up with the top 4 runners and then a strong pack at the end here. Looks like a bunch of D and E runners mixed in with 1 Concord runner, and then we have someone from Wesleyan coming up here. So your top 10 or 12 going to include at the very, very top of the race 4 UC runners, then the next 4 or 5 spots will be filled by D&E and Concord, and then a couple of Wesleyan and Glenville State runners as well. So we'll get those final results, or at least the unofficial results, as they come in for you. But that is an exceptionally strong race from Charleston. And Coach, talk a little bit about that. To finish with your top 4 coming through like that, that's got to be beyond anything the coach was expecting.
No coach could predict that. You're always looking out for those people who are going to challenge you, but boy, did they execute a great race. And for Coach Bias, you start talking about through 4 places, 10 points. So then you're going to say, where's our 5? A perfect score in cross-country meets 15 points. D&E's women almost did that, and then these men even came closer from Charleston.
Well, Coach Bias, not a Hall of Famer for nothing, inducted into the Hall of Fame for UC Athletics earlier this year. 33 Coach of the Year honors, and this is going to be one that he can put on his mantle as well, because UC with a dominant finish here at the men's championships. We're getting more runners. We just got another UC runner just crossed the finish line, and definitely some signs of exhaustion. So what's next for I'm always curious about this. What's next for these runners? Is it do you go just devour food, or is it going to sleep? What should you do for your body at this point?
Well, these coaches today know a lot more than I did about that, and I know that they're going to be trying to get glycogen stores and food in their system within the next hour. Something in order to get that back in the bloodstream. So there's recovery food, there's recovery cool downs. There are a lot of little things that will go into getting them ready for the next meet. So it happens today. Right now they're looking at regionals after the award ceremony. They'll be doing some things to prepare for getting their bodies back to normal and ready to train.
Yeah. Jesse, I'm tired just from watching these guys. They have run an impeccable race here, particularly, again, UC, Davis and Elkins, really strong performances there. What are you seeing as we bring up sort of the last couple of runners here?
Oh, they're fighting to the end here, trying to grab a couple spots. Of course, a lot of the teams, there's a lot of people 4s and 5s that are still factoring into the team scoring. And I tell you, I think that temperature probably went up over 13 degrees from right when they warmed up here to when this race finishes. So that's, so a little more exertion upon them.
Yeah, we are up. I was just going to say, you're right. We're up to 46 degrees now.
Yeah, certainly you could tell it out here in the sun, and that we're not out there running 8,000 meters. So I'm sure that they've been pushing through that, but dominant race there from Coach Bass and the Golden Eagles.
We did, by the way, just see there was a really nice finish. Didn't see the two runners, but a really nice finish right down to the wire between a West Liberty and a Glenville State runner. And I think that's one of the things here is that whether or not you finish in first or 40th or 10th or 80th, it almost doesn't matter, because at day's end, when you get into that final stretch, your goal is you just want to finish.
Well, you're always competing against yourself, right,
teams,
Coach?
Yeah, those teams 4 through 7 are very tight, and those runners may have likely been there, they're 5 or 6, and they're battling for it may factor very well into the team play.
That's right.
We don't quite have the results yet. Again, the early indication is going to be that we believe UC will likely have the strong shot at having won this thing, having finished with spots 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, to the credit of Davis and Elkins, they likely finish with 4 of the next 5 spots in that top 10. Again, unofficially, just from us watching at the end of the race there, and then some spots coming up, Glenville and West Virginia Wesleyan, and we'll have to see where kind of everybody else finishes there. And I love this, by the way. We've got some fans here who have, much like a football game, have painted letters on their chest. I think those are Davis and Elkins fans who have come out to support here. So that's excellent to see on the course today.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it didn't disappoint. You've got a lot of fans out there cheering on their teams, parents, grandparents. It's a great affair, social affair, these races, and so that didn't disappoint either.
Charleston and Davis and Elkins, if they do wind up taking the top 2 spots, they were picked to finish first and second in the preseason poll. Charleston with 7 first-place votes, Davis and Elkins with 4. Concord was picked to finish 3rd, Frostburg 4th, West Virginia Wesleyan 5th. Glenville and West Liberty tied for 6th, Fairmont 8th, Point Park 9th, Wheeling 10, and West Virginia State, a newer program. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about West Virginia State, but I think there's some credit there that is owed, because it's still very early days for their program in cross country, and there is an acclimation process anytime you basically build a program from scratch.
Yeah, and stepping into a conference like this is very competitive. Coach Scales and I both started programs at different times, and we've never had to start a program with 12 pretty good teams already out there. So, yeah, credit to them for getting it started again and looking for big things from down in Institute.
And again, we're looking for these final numbers there. Jesse, we were just talking about sort of the challenge of a program like West Virginia State that still very much in the infancy of a program. How hard is it in your mind to kind of build up, especially now from your perspective as an athletic director, to build a program from scratch like that?
It's difficult. You have to really, have some resources for them to take it and get going. And that's an important deal at State, because they have a tremendous track history, and they have some strong cross-country teams going way back. And but just really glad, they've got it going again, and it's, it's incremental, and it's, takes resources. But I feel like State's taking a great step in making a commitment towards the running sports and getting you back there with the Yellow Jackets and their history.
Very curious to see some final numbers here. We know that they are closing in on the last couple of runners, and we'll get some unofficial results for you as soon as we have them. We'll get some official results for you as soon as we have those as well. We're going to take a short break here. We're back right after this on the MEC Sports Network with the race's victorious conqueror back in just a moment from UC.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners. Because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan. Here for you.
Attention all car buyers, it's deal time at the all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Come see the team at Cardinal Chevrolet and let us show you what a great deal really looks like. No games, no gimmicks, just great prices on all the Chevys you love. If you want to save a buck on your next car or truck, come see us at Cardinal Chevrolet. Silverados, Equinox, Blazers, all recently reduced and ready for immediate delivery. Our best deals, your best time to buy. The all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Exit 34 of I-64 in Hurricane, West Virginia. Together, let's drive.
Back on MEC TV here, and we've got the winner from the men's 8K from the University of Charleston, Hugo Hewitt. And Hugo, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, just tell me how you feel right now after running that race.
Thank you very much. I feel, to be fair, I felt kind of quite bad for a couple of minutes there, but no, I've recovered and I'm feeling good. I'm happy with that. It's a good day out, isn't it?
What was it like to look around and realize that you were surrounded by a sea of gold? It was 4 Charleston finishers in the top 4.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, the feeling running with my teammate there for most of that race, that's the best feeling you can have. Out front, you look behind you, you got 10, 20-second gap.
You know, in American football, there's a belief that most games are really decided before the game is really played. Do you feel that way at all about races, or is it you don't know until you know?
You never know until you're in the race. Like, anything could happen in the day. I mean, the first 500 meters of that race, guy decked it in front of me, and 4 of us hurdled him. Like, anything can happen on the day, and you just gotta grit your teeth and go and try your best.
What do you do? So what do you do in that moment there? Do you say I got to pick up my pace just a little bit? Do you say I got to pace myself to the point that I can make my move later? How do you strategize in the moment?
I'm very much pace so I can make my move later. I don't want to go out hard. I want to see what's happening in front of me, see the moves being made, and respond to them like that. I'm not normally a front runner.
Usual for me.
Yeah.
As a former coach, I was impressed with the fact that you were so far packed up front like that. Impressive. I'm sure Coach Bias is proud of you.
He's standing over there. Yeah, I think he's quite happy with that result today.
Yeah. How competitive are practices then if you guys are finishing like that?
Oh God, yeah. It's they get competitive. We had a Michigan workout last weekend. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a hard rep a tempo, and it's a few of those, and that last hard rep was yeah.
I promise you this: I've never done a Michigan in my life, and I don't intend it. I'll leave that for you, okay?
It's gotten you ready for this. So
yes, he certainly has. Yeah.
What's next?
Oh well, regionals is next for us. We're going up to Lock Haven. We're going to be doing a 10K there. It's going to be a bit flatter than this race, just a little bit. Yeah, and then hopefully we're qualifying for nationals, and we'll be up in where is it?
Kenosha.
In Kenosha, yeah.
Well, now here's the better question: what's next today?
Ooh, I think lunch. I think lunch is next.
Very good. We'll let you go enjoy that.
All
Thanks
right.
again, and
Thank you
congratulations.
very much. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, that was Hugo Hewitt, who is victorious, #1, and again, UC pulling with the top 4 spots. From our perspective. We'll have some official results for you coming up. We're going to take another quick break, and we're back after this on the MEC Sports Network on MEC TV.
Landing
Approached edge of altitude zone. Home point updated. Takeoff. Home point updated.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has been rooted in your community and the state of West Virginia. A steady part of your family and your business. We're here for you with health services designed to manage and improve your well-being. The health plan is powered by a team of dedicated healthcare professionals and trusted local partners. Because your health deserves more than just coverage. It deserves commitment. The health plan. Here for you.
Attention all car buyers, it's deal time at the all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Come see the team at Cardinal Chevrolet and let us show you what a great deal really looks like. No games, no gimmicks, just great prices on all the Chevys you love. If you want to save $1 on your next car or truck, come see us at Cardinal Chevrolet. Silverados, Equinox, Blazers, all recently reduced and ready for immediate delivery. Our best deals, your best time to buy. The all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Exit 34 of I-64 in Hurricane, West Virginia. Together, let's drive.
All right, we are back. Alex Wiederspiel here alongside Mark Swigert.
That's what I wanted to see.
Out on the course, and the race
The Grundle or Western Kent Island.
The men's race, UC finishes with the top 4 spots. Now you can see some of the results coming in now. Fairmont State with 2 runners in the top 30 in Donovan Benjamin and Derek Vaughn. Let's see a couple of other racers. Zachary Workman in the top 40 for West Liberty. Point Park earning a top 50 finish. Luke Barr in at 52.
My man.
And that just shows just how strong the field was in this race.
Both are programs ran hard.
Strong potential in this race. Comes in, nice finish, 52, but a little bit further down the leaderboard than you maybe expect.
You got to have that all day from every athlete, whether they overperformed or underperformed. The overachievers, we just saw how confident Hugo was with his team, but it is always a disappointment if you don't have the race you want. So that's the thing about this sport. Again, it's as fair as it gets. You toe the line, and whoever comes in first comes in first. You know,
they couldn't be anywhere near if they're trying to go if you got that separation if you had to. Huh? I don't know.
So we talked a little
I
bit
do not
about
know.
the Bobcats as well, and Kelsey.
I do not know. I'm waiting to go back on the air one time. Congratulations on the women so far. Yeah, the men far. Oh gosh. Nah. Jenna freaking Barnett.
Aaron Igard, strong finish. Nyland, a strong finish. And for the Bobcats, 3 top 20 finishes. So possibility that they might find themselves with a top 5 finish as a team.
Yeah, this race did not disappoint. It had all kinds of cool nuance to it. Pre-meet favorites and people who could achieve. And Wesleyan was one of those teams that could have been anywhere in the top 3 or 4, 5. You know, it depends on how they look at it. You know, if they're looking at it as saying, well, this is a nice stepping stone to Lock Haven in a couple weeks, then that it'll be handled the right way. But you know, I'm just very impressed with this meet today.
Now, this was a strong performance, and again, we're still getting final results in, and you can see them on the screen yourself as well. And the big story in this one, University of Charleston finishing with 3 of the top 4. Davis and Elkins also with some strong finishes, and we are seeing that was the women's results from before. Davis and Elkins won, by the way, on the women's side. Point Park finished in 2nd, thanks to a strong performance from Cassandra O'Connor. And in 3rd was UC. A little surprising there, but Point Park gets a big boost from a first-place finish. In the meantime, though, it seems very likely once we get those final numbers in that UC is almost a lock to be number 1 on the men's side here with, again, the finishing spots in 1, 2, 3, and 4. We just talked with Hugo Hewitt. He was telling us a great story right after we got off camera about one of the times he raced overseas in Europe and a river that they were running through had essentially, or a stream they were running through, had essentially turned into mud. So he is used to some pretty serious conditions. I think he enjoyed this today, crisp but dry.
Yeah, and European cross-country meets have a tendency to make them as tough as they can. I joking with Hugo. I said, look, if it's not muddy enough on the course, Europeans go out and spray down the course and make it muddier. So in so many ways, that story that Hugo told us was really really interesting, but doesn't surprise me.
Did you hear the story of Kawhi? Is the top non-UFC finisher taking in that number 5 spot. So Davis Nelkins might not have defended their title today on the men's side, but a very, very strong race for them. They finished in the 5th spot, and a couple of guys, I believe 4 total in the top 10 for D&E.
Yeah, and those preseason rankings held true. I mean, you had Charleston 1 and D&E 2, and even in the regional rankings, the 1st and the 3rd, that pack from D&E is right there. They're not that far back from the others, so anything can happen within the next couple of weeks, and looking forward to following these teams to the regional.
So even as in many other sports, they are starting to get rid of preseason rankings because of an unpredictability in the Mountain East Conference. Preseason pollsters actually did a pretty good job picking out how this was going to go. As again, you're seeing on your screen some of the results here, and I'm just double checking now. Again, Davis Nelkins 5, 7, and 8. Chris Lucas at 8. They finished with 3 spots. 4 in the top 11.
It's a retro.
Retro. Strong finish.
Right.
Charleston also had a runner at 17, by the way. So again, like Charleston's going to wind up with 5, maybe 6 runners in the top 20.
Yeah, and they're going to be probably under 30 points, which is also really, really impressive. But yeah, that preseason rank, those guys were spot on, I think.
The 1, 2, 3, 4.
You had mentioned it before that
He led 194.
15, and that Davis Nelkins came very close to that last time.
Yeah, and their women came close today. So I don't think anyone's been in the teens, but when you get in the low 20s to upper 20s, you've been pretty dominant that day.
Yeah.
To seeing what those final numbers do officially look like from here at Ogilvie Resort. Alex Wiederfield alongside Mark Swiger. And we do have the final team results. And as Coach said, 27 points for Charleston. So that is pretty dominant way for the number 1 team in this game. Nelkins 2. Strong finish for West Virginia Wesleyan. They finish in 3rd. Concord 4. West Liberty 5. Point Park 6. Glenville State 7. Frostburg at 8. Fairmont State at 9. And Wheeling is at 10, followed by West Virginia State. So those are your final numbers, and that is a dominant showing for Charleston. So they were kept off the number 1 spot a year ago. That streak ends at 1.
Yeah, and this held true to the regional rankings. So Wesleyan was in the top 10 in the region, and you had D&E and Charleston at the top. So this panned out the way it was supposed to. Very impressive races by both Charleston and D&E and running in packs. And they weren't that far apart, even though the score may look like it. But D&E is waiting. And it depends on who runs better on a flat course. Alex, that Lock Haven course is as flat as a pancake. And so Hugo even alluded to that. It'll be a much different scenario up there and very fast.
You know, and I believe we still have, do we still have Jesse with us?
Yeah.
I think
He's over there, standing.
Okay. We do not have Jesse with us.
They only ran the 10K and 15, whatever. The 5 was probably left before the end of the meeting. Like, just demoralized the other guys.
Following along
Yeah,
the
guys,
race,
that's
he was our man in the field today. And Coach Swiger, one thing I always like to look at is towards the bottom, you know, your Fairmont States, your Frostburg State, and some strong finishes, by the way. Fairmont State had a couple of runners in the top 30, but you know, the depth maybe not quite there for the program. When you're trying to build up a program, we talked about West Virginia State, from the perspective of Fairmont State, from Frostburg State, what are some things you can do moving forward? What are some, outside of obviously you want to recruit the best runners that you can possibly get, but for the guys who are going to be coming back, the guys and the girls
son was going to be in Morgantown for 2 years. And he met this girl at one of his days, and now he's living in Pocono.
Yeah, well, recruiting is the name of the game, so you have to get out there and watch some of these high school races. And we're in a nice area for that. Right now, high school running is in an upswing in West Virginia, so you've got a lot to choose from, and they have a lot to choose from. So if you got a Fairmont, a well-coached program, a lot of kids will look at those coaching resumes. You know, and if someone like Kaylin and with All-American status and having been on top national teams in Division I, you've got lots of opportunity to build on those kinds of things. But between now and next year, you can get a 4 or 5 good runners will make a team much better. And then the preparation. All these coaches, I think, are accomplished enough to train their kids to get here. So it's a matter of just getting the numbers.
Mountain East Conference Cross Country Championships winners of this one. Davison Elkins takes the women's side, and on the men's side, it goes to Charleston. UC victorious and reclaiming the title. Again, the top 4 runners in this event all go to UC. The award ceremony is coming up here shortly, an opportunity for recognition for both of these teams and for all of these runners. We will take a break. We're back after this here on the MEC Sports Network on MEC TV.
Attention all car buyers, it's deal time at the all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Come see the team at Cardinal Chevrolet and let us show you what a great deal really looks like. No games, no gimmicks, just great prices on all the Chevys you love. If you want to save a buck on your next car or truck, come see us at Cardinal Chevrolet. Silverados, Equinox, Blazers, all recently reduced and ready for immediate delivery. Our best deals, your best time to buy. The all-new Cardinal Chevrolet. Exit 34 of I-64 in Hurricane, West Virginia. Together, let's drive.
Back at Ogle Bay Resort, and a gorgeous, gorgeous morning here. A crisp October morning, but sunny and a little bit of cloud cover, and it'll be a great, great morning for the awards presentation, which will be coming up in just a few minutes right here on MEC TV. Before we go, let's talk a little bit, Coach Swiger, about I think the perfect way to finish this, the two coaches who are probably going to be happiest today, Nick Bias and Jason Piles. Nick, they get a third-place finish for Charleston on the women's side. They obviously dominate on the men's side, take that first-place finish. And for Jason Piles, first-place finish on the women's side, second-place finish on the men's side. Those should be some pretty happy coaches when all is said and done. If coaches can ever be truly happy.
Well, they're greatly accomplished, at least from this former coach's point of view. You're never quite satisfied. I'm sure Nick's saying, we just had one more guy at fifth. But these are flawless performances by both of those teams. You end up with 22 points in the women's meet. Coach Piles he earned his paycheck. And the same with Coach Bias over on the men's side, having 27 points. And by the way, you may remember, I said 27. So I had a coach's math going in my head thinking from that perspective and making sure that I was still on target. But man, great programs. And there are a lot of other good programs out there that have to run against those teams. So very, very, very good day for cross country.
So that'll do it for the cross-country championships for the Mountain East Conference for the 2025 season. Want to thank Jesse Skiles and, of course, the coach and Hall of Famer Mark Swiger here, as well as Butch, Levi, John, the entire team who helped put this production on. I'm Alex Wiederspiel, reminding you that the award ceremony is coming up momentarily. We are stepping aside. We'll say so long, and we'll meet again next time here on MEC TV. Stay tuned. Awards are presented live next.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention, please. We are ready to do the award ceremony over at the stage. If you want to make your way to the stage, we will be giving out the awards here momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started with the results and awards, Mountain East Conference Commissioner Reed Amos would like to congratulate all the teams for their participation today. And now let's get to the individual results, starting with the women's race. Members of this team will receive a certificate of their accomplishments. In 20th, from Frostburg, Leah Magda. In 19th, from Point Park, Lodi Zaroff. In 18th place, from Point Park, Elena Dice-Giaru. In 17th place, from Frostburg, number 7, and 17th is Riley Teague. In 16th, from West Virginia Wesleyan, Marimo Akita. In 15th, from Davison Elkins, Zoe Belsham. In 14th, from Charleston, Bethany Wallace. In 13th, from West Virginia Wesleyan, Lindsay Dillon. In 12th, from West Virginia Wesleyan, Miriam Al-Zubi. And in 11th, from Davison Elkins, Jeannie Pellissier. Once again, congratulations to the All Mountain East second team. And now the All MEC first team. We ask that as we read your name, please join MEC Commissioner Reed Amos to receive your All Conference Award and remain until the entire first team is recognized. In 10th, from Fairmont State, Megan Mitchell. Finishing 9th from Concord, the Freshman of the Year in the MEC, Violet Wall. Finishing 8th from Davison Elkin, Savannah Hardman. Finishing 7th from Davison Elkins, Rebecca Telez. In 6th from Charleston, Amanda Fronte. In 5th place from Glenville State, Jenna Barnett. In fourth place from Davis and Elkins, Lydia Falkenstein. In third place from Glenville State, Natalie Barr. In second place from Davis and Elkins, Lauren Twyman. And in first place, the runner of the year for the MEC from Point Park, Cassandra O'Connor. Congratulations to the top 10 from today. In addition to those awards, the MEC would like to present the Women's Cross Country Coach of the Year Award to Jason Piles of Davis and Elkins.
Sorry. Okay, looking right here. 1, 2. Do one more there, guys. Sun's bouncing all around. Good.
Thank you.
And now it's time for your team scores. In 11th place, West Virginia State with a score of 325. In 10th place, Wheeling with a score of 277. In 9th place, Fairmont State with a score of 268. In 8th place, West Liberty with a score of 202. In 7th place, Concord with a score of 178. In 6th place, Frostburg State with a score of 125. In 5th place, West Virginia Wesleyan with a score of 108. In 4th place, Glenville State with a score of 105. In 3rd place, Charleston with a score of 103. In 2nd place, Point Park with a score of 88. And your Mountain East Conference Women's Cross Country champions with a score of 32, the Senators of Davis and Elkins.
Take a picture up there and see the bat. Don't move the camera. Take a picture of this, the face. I want to make sure the battery doesn't die.
One sec. Everybody's right here with me. 1, 2. All right. You got it? We're good. All right, maybe do it now. I'll hold the hat. Maybe you can get it.
In 15th from West Virginia Wesleyan, Anthony Sanders. In 14th from Frostburg, Gage Osborne. In 13th from Glenville State, Patrick Riley. In 12th from West Virginia Wesleyan, Jonathan Norton. And in 11th from Davison Elkins, Connor Allison. And now for the All-MEC first team. In 10th from Glenville State, Nick Pitchford. In 9th from West Virginia Wesleyan, Kent Nyland. In 8th place, from Davison Elkins, Jordan Thomas. In 7th place, from Davison Elkins, Christopher Lucas. In 6th place from Concord, Braden Ward. In 5th place from Davison Elkins, Cooper Gibson. In 4th place from Charleston, Jules Geoffroy Remott.
mean the water.
All right.
In third place from Charleston, the MEC Freshman of the Year, Harry Witt. In second place from Charleston, Thomas Crockett. And in first place, the Mountain East Conference Individual Men's Champion and the Mountain East Conference Runner of the Year, from Charleston, Hugo Hewitt. In addition to those awards, the MEC would like to present the Men's Cross Country Coach of the Year Award to Nick Bias from Charleston.
First five down.
Yeah.
Keep this. Sam, have them go just a tad. Just that front row, just a tad. Everybody, just a tad. There you go. They were off a little.
Looking right here, Jeff. Let me get this and then we'll do that. All right, now you do your thing. There you go.
And now for your team results in the men's division. With a score of 293, Wheeling in 10th place. In 9th place with a score of 230, Fairmont State. In 8th place with a score of 188, Frostburg State. In 7th place with a score of 162, Glenville State. In 6th place with a score of 157, Point Park. In 5th place with a score of 148, West Liberty. In 4th place with a score of 122, Concord. In 3rd place, West Virginia Wesleyan with a score of 103. In 2nd place with a score of 47, Davis and Elkins. And your Mountain East Conference men's cross country champions are, with a score of 27, Charleston.
Couple guys in the front here. They're also Luis, all the SIDs. They're from Google Drive and San Antonio. Every photo. Oh, okay. Yeah, they'll all be food. I think I sent all the
Wherever you want to go. Yeah, just give me one. All right, looking right here. Here we go. 1, 2. Good. Count of 3. We're going to yell really loud. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Perfect. All right, hey guys.
Coaches, this reminder, official results will be uploaded later today. And if you'd like an official set of results, please see the MEC Meet Director Dave Hickman for a copy. Be sure to get a complete recap of photos from all the action here today by logging on to mountaineast.org. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of MEC, the City of Wheeling and Ogilvie Resort, we hope you enjoyed today's cross-country championship. Please drive home safely. Have a nice day.